Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the True North Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Price Ballard, and I have with me my mommy. Mommy's on the pod today.
Yay!
We actually recorded 10 whole minutes together when I realized that the microphone wasn't hooked up. So we are really thriving today, aren't
That's
we?
okay. It's just extra time together.
Well, and it's probably, I'm pretty sure I admitted to rage texting too, so maybe it's best that didn't work.
Cut that right out of there. We just
I'm
won't even go
sparing
there
you
this
all
time.
from my character flaws, if I'm being honest. Good Lord. But anyway, yes, my mom is on the podcast today as my grand finale guest of Feature Fall. And if you have been tuning in for the last couple of seasons, we did a series called Mother Knows Best, where you could actually submit questions and Mom and I would answer them, mainly her, because I know that's whose wisdom you're really looking for when you're tuning into these. And I'm just trying to be her. So anyway, and that's how she came back, though. I wanted to share her with you again because I have a lot of new friends here, and if you haven't met my mom, you definitely need to. And if you haven't experienced just the wisdom and the girl chats, I feel like it's an experience every girl needs to have as a Kylie chat. So
thank you.
Here they
That's
are.
very sweet.
Now you can stream them whenever you want to. So
I cherish all of our chats.
I know, Mommy's the best, and I am happy I'll have these forever. Like, I do think about that sometimes. I'm like, how cool. And then I listen to, like, one of them we did early on. Somebody asked you, like, what you wanted for me and a husband, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm married now. Like, that was funny. You should listen to it again. It was cool. We did pretty good.
I have no doubt that you found everything.
Well, yeah,
that I wanted you to find in a husband. He is precious.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I do love him
I'll
very
keep
much.
him, you
should indeed.
So. But it was cool to see that. I like almost like the time capsule of, like, because a lot has changed since you were on. Yeah. Even where we are right now, definitely. You have not been on in the studio room.
And
in
it's
here.
so cozy. I love it.
You guys should really see the whole thing. It's really cute in here. I love it. But I do love it when my tech works, and so when it didn't, I was pretty bad. But I've done I have recorded whole episodes and not recorded.
Oh, the frustration.
Talk about testing the faith. I mean, it's really,
I might have cried a little.
Clinging to the hem of the garment. the string at the end.
But you're like, so Lord, good at this. So it's all, maybe it's all that maybe extra practice.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably all the unintentional warm-ups that are happening when I forget to record. But anyway, I have come up with a series of questions this time because I wanted to go through a couple, I feel like, peak moments in life, questions that I feel like me and the twins, my sisters, asked you growing up, and things that we continue to ask you, or that people ask me, or even that my friends have asked you when they come over. Like, I kind of wanted to simulate as if you were sitting down in the front room at my mom's house drinking coffee and talking about your life, or crashing out, or all of the above. They often go hand in hand. So, I have a feeling, yeah, no matter what season of life you're in, you're either probably doing that or are going to very soon. So buckle up. However, it gets better. It's okay. And I'm hoping that these questions will make you feel a little bit better about where you're at, where you're going, and all the things. So
yeah, it's true. It'll all be okay.
Yeah.
It'll all be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's gonna be all right.
Absolutely.
But
in time, it'll be fine.
I just realized I have to have you introduce yourself.
Okay.
Because even though I forgot because you already did it and I didn't record it, let's do it again. Okay. Tell us, Mother, who you are, what you do, and how you came to know Jesus.
Well, growing up, I was always super excited to be a mommy. And so I was super happy that I got to do that. I did also become an occupational therapy assistant, and I work in the school system, and I love what I do. I have a wonderful job. I also do rescue for our local humane society, and I've done that for 12 years. So the girls all grew up with lots of animals and having to be very patient with my time and stuff at times. And so that was definitely something that was important to me. And then I came to know Jesus through one of my dogs. My very first dog that I got, my husband and I got together, and he had gotten sick, and I was just beside myself, distraught, because he was my little child. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know what else to do. I have got to ask God to help me. But I was not, going to church and
walking with God at that
walking
time.
with God. No, in fact, I had, grown up only going around the holidays. So I was not raised in church, so to speak. And anyway, so I went to a church with a pastor that I had known very well and had known all growing up. Important person in my life. He had been a coach of mine all growing up. And I thought, I know he's not going to make fun of me when I go rolling up in here asking for prayer for my dog. And indeed, he did not make fun of me, nor did he laugh. But he did help lead me to the Lord. And thankfully, I have been there ever since. All because of my little puppy.
Yeah.
And my dog was fine, by the way.
Yeah, he lived a long life.
He did.
He was good.
A long, happy life. Wonderful little
good
boy.
old Rudy.
Good old Rooters.
I know. He was a little Maltese. He was really cute.
Yeah, he was wonderful.
So little. I remember
tiny.
feeling so strong because I could pick him up, but in reality, it's just because he was that little. And as a kid, I could carry him around with one arm.
He was so
was
cute.
good.
He wore a little black bow tie in my wedding, and yeah, adorable.
That's so cute.
Cuteness. But
We
anyway.
loved him. Well, that's so cool. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing.
Yeah.
I say it every time you're on here. I love that God used dogs to lead you to him because look at you now.
I know.
It's in the details. He misses nothing. I think that's so cool.
He'll do what he has to do, won't he?
I know. It was kind of like hey, I need your attention. So
Yeah.
that's a whole other episode we could do.
Absolutely.
But before we get into that part, I will go ahead and start with some of these questions.
Okay.
So if you have your notebook, get it ready and open your heart, open your ears. Here we go. So, Mom,
Yes.
what would you say to the person who feels like they're falling behind in life?
Falling behind in life. Oh my goodness.
I know. Cue the
There is
cringe phrase.
No such thing as falling behind in life. Who says you're falling behind in life? Does social media say you're falling behind in life?
Facts.
Or,
Probably.
I mean, the people at church say you're falling behind in life?
Parents, friends. Yeah.
There's really no such thing. I think that as you're going through life, I do think sometimes that people can get sidetracked on getting trying to stick to a timeline and they fail to just work on themselves and think about, what would they like to do in life and get out there and get some life experience, because that is really where they're going to learn the most about themselves and about what they want. You might think you know what you want, but get out there and live a little bit and then ask yourself, what would make me happy? What does interest me? You're going to find that, we grow as people. Our interests change. And I think timelines, I just think that you need to throw them out the window.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, because nowhere in Scripture especially does it say that you have to be a certain age or certain whatever to do certain things. And I feel like, the Bible talks about running the race set before you, keeping your eyes on the end goal, on the prize, which is the Lord. Right. And I feel like it's very evident, even within yourself, when you have your eyes on the things above and when you have your eyes on your phone and on what's in front of you, which is other people. I think this whole concept of falling behind, and I can say this from experience, when I felt I was behind, it's because I was looking at who was in front of me and who I wasn't caught up with. Who is outrunning me, outpacing me, who is where I want to be now and I'm not, who's there. And it became all about other people. It actually had nothing to do with me. I wanted it, yes, but I might have known I wasn't ready for it, but I didn't care because somebody else had what I wanted. So it's all about, I got to get there. I have to accomplish, achieve, do whatever.
And we need to live in the present. We need to live in the now. For sure.
And I have some regret about that. I definitely think in terms of my brain space, I do think I could have not wished away certain things. I do think I did pretty well for the most part, especially as I got older, about being content with where I'm at, really leaning into the season I was in. But that was a hard-earned thing to learn. It took me a while, and I think college was a little rougher. And I think also I didn't live at home, so I'm surrounded by all these different people everybody's in a different season of life there. And I think that's something through this decade of life, 20 to 30 especially, that's everyone is living the same life but not. They're living it at different times, and it's very normal for people of the same age to be in completely different timelines of life, and that was a difficult thing for me to understand And what's funny is like even now that's that way. Like you mentioned, like I do feel like there's some pressure, especially in church culture, about like marriage. Like, why are you not married yet? Why are you still single? And you're like 19, and it's like, everybody calm down. Like,
And then once you get married, it's where are your children?
Yeah, I mean, I get that at least once a week from random people.
Right.
And I've done that to people too. And even if I like mean it well, it is like you are putting an expectation on people or an implication that you are not where you should be. And the Bible also says that God's timing is, he doesn't delay the way that we do. You know, waiting on the Lord is very different than waiting on someone to get here, right? Like, you know, you're late. Like God is never late. And I think that we put human expectations on God when it comes to timelines of life. And we even like blame ourselves or blame God even. And it's like, no one's wrong here.
No,
though.
there
like,
is no wrong.
You're not doing anything wrong. You're not. And even if it's because you're not ready, that still doesn't mean you're wrong. You're just not ready. Like, those are different.
If you're not seeing what you think, if you're not seeing happen what you think should happen, then just live in the present and learn about yourself. Focus a little more on you.
Just live, like you said. Like, not even, just literally do life.
Just
like,
live.
Don't wait for life to start.
Right.
That was one thing that I really preached to myself a lot, I remember. Waiting on all kinds of things, even jobs and whatever. I mean, because we're always waiting on something.
Yeah.
That's going to be normal. So if you think that's going to stop,
it's not.
It'll bust your bubble. It's not.
Else.
Yeah, like, you're always going to be waiting on something.
Right.
However, like, you know, it doesn't have to be miserable. Like, you know, thinking about even Ruth when she was waiting on the Lord to provide for their family and a husband, she worked while she waited. Like,
that's right.
She literally didn't just sit there and was like, he's going to be here any minute now. Like, no, girl got to work. She did stuff for herself, for her family, and that's actually how God brought that provision to her. So
that's good.
I think look at where you are, like what kind of field can you be working in now that could benefit you later, because harvest doesn't come if you don't plant.
That's
like
right.
I mean, you're not gonna you can't reap anything that you didn't sow. So like,
and then in time everything will align the way it's supposed to.
Oh yeah, hindsight's always 20/20.
Right.
I mean, and I know that's not biblical, but it's true. Like, I mean, it's, you know, that's not from scripture.
Right.
Is what I mean. Like,
Yes,
there's
I know
nothing
what you
wrong
meant.
with it, but
Right.
like, I can't quote that in the Bible. However, I can even tell you, looking back, I'm like, makes so much sense why this didn't work or why
Correct.
this took this time. Like, I wouldn't do those things differently. But what's hard about that is I have to continue preaching that now to myself. Like, that's something that, you know, and I'm sure you can even say that, like, and maybe not, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but like, I do feel like everyone can always feel like they're behind in some way if they want to. Like,
I was
even with
a
your
little bit,
faith walk, like people
ahead of the game. So I thought
you did things early.
Yeah, I did things really early. In fact,
Yeah.
your dad and I were always like, yeah, we don't want the girls to do things as early as we did. So timing, you know, I was a little too fast.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But
It's
that's the
okay.
thing, is that it's different though for everybody. And I think that you have to take that pressure off of yourself and stop looking so much at what everybody else is doing and ask God to show you here what can be done here, because these seasons will pass. They will change eventually.
Live and be happy and choose joy.
Yeah.
And don't let these little things take your peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's actually a good lead in to the next question, because I feel like these are going to blend together. And that would be like, what would you say to your younger self in your 20s? Like, before we get too deep on any of those, I want you to go ahead and answer that one, because I feel like we're going to answer both at the same time.
Well, the piece, I would definitely say that I would have, oh gosh, I do feel like I've learned so much. I really have. Words that are just, and I've mentioned them before when I've been on here, but words that have just been profound to me as an individual have been boundaries, establishing boundaries, balance in my life. Those have been...
That was the first episode we ever did.
Yes.
Was balance and boundaries. I'll link it in the show notes.
So important.
Yeah.
They're so important.
Well, they
in
age with
so
you. Like,
many aspects of your life.
You'll need them forever.
Forever. It literally can apply to everything. And it brings peace and health. It really, really does. But I would say, you know, I also wouldn't care what other people think so much when I was younger.
And why would you say that?
Why would I say that? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what other people think.
In the
Like,
sense,
what does it change?
Yeah, doesn't affect really you or
No.
change how you really feel or what you do.
Or what I really want.
Yeah.
It doesn't
sure.
really change it. So,
Well, that's really the thing. People don't change what they want. They just change how they feel about wanting it, I think is what happens is they either are excited and proud to want something or ashamed and embarrassed. And it's
good. That's
all
good stuff.
because of what people respond to it and what they think. Because I think I did this. I even just like wrote this down about myself the other day that I think I was like asking for permission from people to feel a certain way about whatever, wanting whatever. And if I didn't get it, I would either suppress or put out a different feeling about like, oh, I don't really care. I don't want it. I even think like, pretending to be all tough and like, you don't need anybody. And it's like, maybe I wanted someone,
Right.
but I was, made to feel bad. So it's like, well, now I'm just going to like keep that to myself. Like, but I think again, like you said, people don't take time to learn what they really want. So they let other people tell them.
Yep.
And they let other people influence how they really feel about wanting it. And I think when you do know what you want and you don't protect it like with a boundary, be like, I'm just not going to talk to that person about this because they don't agree or they don't,
Right.
They didn't make me feel very good. Like, and there's a
Right.
difference in conviction and someone being like, hey, I need to talk to you. Like, this isn't okay. And someone just making you feel bad about where you're at in your life. Like, I don't know. But I think, again, it's people make it about other people and not about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good.
Thanks, Mom.
I think I would slow down. I would have slowed down.
No, really.
Yeah, you tend to overextend yourself. You want to do so much for so many people, and
I feel like that can go into saying no. Like,
right.
but again, slow down. Do you want to say no or do you want to say yes? Like, I was bad about that. I would say yes before I even asked myself
Right.
or checked in my capacity.
Or what does saying yes look like? What's it going to look like to you tomorrow when that responsibility starts, or when you've got to juggle so many different things? Like, it's okay to
that
say
hits
no.
so hard.
It's okay to say no, and
if
everyone's
it's not,
going to be
then that's
fine.
on them. Like,
Yeah,
then you need new people because
It's true.
I
I
do
mean-
think there's that, and I see that even in like any culture, in friendship dynamics, even in serving dynamics in church,
Yes.
other things. Like, I just feel like there is this stigma that you don't care if you say no, you hate me if you say no, you don't love Jesus if you say no.
Right.
Like, those are dramatics, but if we're being honest, they're not. Like,
no, you have to protect your peace.
people do that, and for some reason I don't know why personal capacity does not exist anymore to
Right.
people. Like, that is a respect that people don't act like they have to give, and then you don't give it to yourself.
Yep.
Because again, you've been made to feel like it's not real or it's not valid. And then, at least in my experience, I can tell you that's why I ended up overextended
Yeah.
and crying because I'd overcommitted,
Right.
and didn't have time for the things I really wanted to have time for because of that.
And your intentions are good by saying all the yes, but you're not going to be the version of yourself that you're going to be happy with by overextending yourself.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to give what you can really give to things by trying to give too much everywhere.
Yep.
You're just spread way too thin.
Well, in Ecclesiastes says there is a time for everything.
Yes.
Mourning, dancing, all the things. Planting, harvesting, like, respect yours.
Absolutely.
You're probably not going to be in the harvest season all the time, and you're definitely not going to be in planting season all the time. You might not be able to do that all the time, especially even like the mourning and dancing. I know we've had some grief this year in our family. We've had some loss, and I had to really learn that, like, I know other people in my life might want me to be here and want to do this, but I can't right now.
Right.
And I can't make myself either. And so having to learn that, like, I mentally had a hard time with being like, I actually can't do this. Like, I don't have the capacity. I don't have the desire. I don't have the mental fortitude right now.
Right.
Like, those are things I think I have high standards for myself. So I think grief has been interesting to learn, like, my yeses and nos had to change. And Peyton was really good about that. Like, he was really good about being like, you probably need to say no, and I'm giving you permission to say no, even
Yeah,
though you
that's-
don't need it. But like,
But he's here. He was supporting
yeah, he's
you,
knowing
trying
I'm
to-
like doing this, trying to say yes, and I'm like literally crumbling, falling apart, being like, I don't really want to do this, but I think the healthy version of me would have, but like I wasn't healthy. So it's like
Right.
you just have to honor that, I guess. Like, because you can't get healthy if you don't stop. Like, you know,
Correct.
same way, like if you're running a race, you're not going to be able to finish if you don't stop and get some water, because
Yeah.
if you're dehydrated, you're just going to fall over. So
Right.
like,
Not gonna do yourself any
and
good.
I needed an IV. Like, I needed major water, which really was Jesus. I mean, I needed to really sit and allow those things. And I know that was like kind of a tangent. However, like yeses and nos apply to everything is my
Yes.
point. It's not just, do you want to go to Chili's? It's
Right.
a lot of other things. It might even be like, you know, someone wanting counsel and you're like, I'm not really in a place to give that to you. Or I don't know, let me look and study and then tell you. Like, again, I think we all just want to be yes people so bad.
People pleasers.
Oh yeah, I mean, basically that's it in a nutshell. You want to make people happy.
Then you get older, and, you know, your, what do they say? Your give a crap starts to break.
in PG words, yes.
Yes.
On podcast version,
Yes.
yeah.
But that's kind of true.
Yeah.
It does happen as you get older, and it's a little bit freeing.
Kind of needs to. I think there's a
It
balance,
does.
like you said. There is a balance
And
of
if you could-
sacrificing for the people you love and being uncomfortable sometimes for the sake of others and growth. And there's killing yourself to try to
Right.
make people happy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a difference.
And I can just remember setting these super high standards for myself, and you know, learn as closer as that date would approach, I'd be like, I might be able to get all this done.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
whether it was like
and then
preparing
you
for a
don't
party
sleep,
or
you don't
whatever.
eat, you're mad, you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it just
And you-
spoils it.
Then you just have to be like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this is what I do now. So now when I do
Yeah.
that, I say, okay, so I'm not going to be able to get all that done. But what were some of the most important parts of that?
Yep.
And those are where I'm going to focus my time and energy. And I'm not going to let myself be bent out of shape and totally upset because I didn't get it perfect.
Yeah.
You know, because in truth, if I could go back, I would say the things that you think are the biggest deal ever, I promise you, they are not.
Yeah.
They're not. But at that moment, they seem to be.
Yeah.
But I would just, I don't know, time goes by so fast. I would focus on memories and family and, you know, loving each other and just not sweating the small stuff.
Yeah.
As simple as that sounds.
Well, that's a great lead in too, because the next question for the people pleasers in the room, raise your hand. What would you say to someone who's afraid of disappointing others?
What would I say?
What would you have said to me, or what did you say to me
Yeah.
last week when we had this talk?
Well, you know, I think you just have to look at that, disappointing others, and think, okay, well, I mean, what is it? If I don't disappoint them, what does that mean for me? Am I going to be sacrificing my peace of mind, and you know, what's best for me? Not to be selfish, but you know, you have to be careful what position. It's not like you can't sacrifice for others, you know, and the disappointment from other people. I mean, is it something that they really have a reason to be disappointed about?
I was going to say that. Ask, I think, why. And is the disappointment shame to you? Like, are they shaming you? Or is it just, oh, okay.
Right.
Like, because to me, they're the same, though, because I'm irrational and I struggle to be like, they hate you because you are. And it's like, they're not going to think about it tomorrow and I'll still be talking about it next year. But
just all about like kind of being honest about things. Like, I'm sorry that I know this is disappointing and I'm sorry, but I'm unable to do that
Or
because
unwilling,
of X, Y, Z.
or, like, again, it
if
could
I
be-
do that, it's going to cost me, you know, blah, blah, blah about my peace
it's
of
too
mind.
expensive for
And-
me emotionally. Or
Right.
it's-
And I'm just not able to do that. I know you understand. Thank you for being my friend.
I love that you gave a script. Low key, I feel like that's such a nice resource.
Well, I mean,
You know how many times I've been like, Mom, how do I say no to this? I don't know. I didn't literally still sometimes. And what did we just listen to? There was a Lisa Turker's message that we listened to that said, adults inform, children explain.
I loved it.
I know. My girl, Lisa, I swear she's
Bringing
so
the
good.
fire.
But that was so powerful. And
It
I
is.
literally, just a couple days later, I have like diarrhea of the mouth where I'm like, I need to make them
Yes.
believe that this is worth saying no
Yes.
to. Again, the permission.
I have done it, and I know
Yeah.
so many people that do it.
Yeah.
They go to tell you, you know, no for whatever reason, and then they go off on a tangent.
paragraph,
about
and I'm
all
like,
these ridiculous
my
details.
mother's second cousin's neighbor, and it's like,
oh my gosh,
No,
this is crazy. Right.
And see, I don't expect that from other people. But I definitely expect it of myself. And it comes
That's
down...
an interesting thing, though.
Yeah.
What we don't expect from other people, but yet we feel
Yeah.
that we ourselves have to do it.
Like, I
Why
literally
is
can
that?
tell you that I think it comes from... I don't believe that I should get off the hook on it unless they do. Like, it's this weird belief and security thing of they validate how I feel. They make... that's the thing. You can't
give people that
allow
kind of power over you.
And that's the people-pleasing trap, though.
Yeah.
Is that's why I think you explain, because you want them to sign off on the excuse or on
Ask
the reason.
yourself-
And it's like, why, though? Because it's...
How would you feel if you got that text? Like, or if, would
Well,
you be
if
okay
it's,
with it?
if you feel at peace for saying no, then that is enough. No one else
It is.
has to say
That's
that.
the key. That's it right there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's it.
And if you've prayed too, especially like for bigger things, like, you know, that's all you can do. And if this is really how you feel and this is what you think that you can do, then I mean, if it's not enough for them, that's just not on you. And I know that's like preach to the choir, like in the sense of, I mean, that's so
It's
much
not.
easier said than done, but like, it is the truth. Like, it's,
Some
you can't
things,
control
too.
that part.
This is like, you know, maybe not exactly related to this, but like sometimes there's things that like, some things are a them problem. Maybe that's something they need to work through. The fact that they can't handle that you have had to say no.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's really not, you know, it's not a you problem.
Now, if you can avoid canceling the day before, I would.
be respectful.
I was going to say,
Always be respectful.
because I do know like that can be hard. However, there are some things like, and I'll be honest, I do feel like the serving in the church type thing is a big one. And you know, I'm not trying to call out or be too niche, but like, again, just I think this is speaking to a lot of people's experience that people don't want to disappoint or be seen as like not committed enough or not Christian enough. And that's why a lot of people end up leaving churches, because they're burnt to a crisp.
I was going to say,
because there's no balance.
if you overextend yourself, though, you say yes to everything, and then before long, you don't want to go.
Yeah. And it doesn't.
Because it brings you a bunch of stress.
And if they don't respect that, I'll be honest, have a heart check there. I think we might need to have some tough convos about where you need to be, because, and again, this isn't an excuse to just quit everything. I'm not saying that, but like, again, we just talked about grief, right? People can't always give the same, or people that have young children that have a lot of commitments, sick family members, you name it. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I just think too, if you're not getting poured into as much as you're pouring out, then it's definitely not rewarding. It's not going to be as life-giving. You're not going to be your best. And I think that, again, there's a time and a season for everything. And I think it's perfectly acceptable that someone would have a working service season and an off season.
Sure.
And that's why there's so many, right? Hopefully. I mean, that's why you typically have more than one person handle a certain service section. So anyway, that was like a very specific example. However, I kind of want to just validate that I know that's a lot of people's lived experience, but you can only give what you can give. And God knows that too. Like, there's no shame in that, you know? So.
Right. I agree.
But, okay, this one's a fun one. I'm excited because I think I have a lot of people who are going to really connect and resonate with this question. So, I know. All the mamas in the room, Kiley, tell them.
Whoa.
What would you say to a mom raising daughters in today's world?
Lord Jesus.
I know, we will hug you. Are you okay? I think.
Yeah, are you okay?
Are you okay?
It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay.
Here's tissues.
Oh, my goodness.
And a Bible. You'll need both.
But it's such a joy. All the jokes aside, like, oh, goodness. It is such a blessing. You know, it's funny that I really wanted a boy.
I know. I feel so loved. I really do.
I thought for sure I was going to be a boy mom.
I was going to be Cooper.
Yeah, that's a fabulous name, so stop.
Welcome to the True North Podcast. This is Cooper.
I think it would have been fantastic. Thank you very much. Yes. But that is not what happened. I had girls, and thank the Lord that it's God's way, because, I mean, what would I have done?
A brother? What's that? I would not have any. Even
I just don't
wouldn't
even,
have.
like, now that I've had you all, I'm like, and I was like, oh, I want two. Well, here's twins second go round.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
God's laughing.
I know.
He was like, that's funny.
But
Here.
it just turned out so much better than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
And that's what it is when it's God's will, though, you know? You know, you think you have a plan. But God's plan is always better.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would say, okay, let's be serious.
Okay.
Like raising young girls. One of the things that I think is important is to let's maintain innocence and keep the magic as long as we can. The world is going to take that from them quicker than they should already. So I think as parents, we should really foster that. Just letting there be lots of make-believe and fun and magical moments. And, I can go on about all the monitoring this and that, but like, we know that, but those were things that I think were important. I think that the kids these days are trying to grow up on like warp speed. It's crazy. And as parents, I would try to pump the brakes on that as much as possible. I can't get over the difference just from when you all were young.
I feel old when I have to even talk about it now.
I see kids that, are teenagers now that are even just, it looks so different than it did even just 10 years ago.
I remember begging for an Instagram. So much begging. Good. I'm glad you didn't let me have it. I'm glad because again, you get introduced to things faster, especially as a girl. And I know men deal with this too, but comparison and body image and sexuality or just adult themes, things just that it's like you're 13.
You don't need
You're
not ready for those things.
No, you're not.
You're not even mentally developed in certain ways.
Yeah.
Emotionally developed. And there's all kinds of development that still needs to transpire before we're really ready for that kind of information.
Let them keep touching grass.
Yeah.
Keep them outside.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I would say that it is important to be their number one fan. You need to tell your girls how amazing and wonderful and beautiful that they are.
Because the world won't tell them that.
So make sure you are.
Yeah.
And make sure they are not seeing a lack of self-confidence in you. Make sure you're not going around complaining about yourself and pointing out all your flaws. And I'm speaking to myself. That is something that I struggled with.
Well, we also make fun of ourselves as a family.
We do.
That it is one of our, I will say, better qualities. I like that we can laugh at ourselves. However, I can definitely see where some of us, all in our family, have gotten into almost self-deprecating cycles for with comedic relief, but in reality, it's like you're destroying yourself in the mirror.
Right, correct.
But you're laughing about it when really you're not.
Yep.
You mean the things you're saying.
Yeah.
You're just LOLing to make it not as sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we
sure.
have to be careful about those
they're
kind
watching,
of things.
and patterns preach. And
absolutely,
when you start hearing your daughter say that, I've even thought about that just as I think about having kids one day. I'm going to just fall apart whenever my daughter would say something about herself, but I'll be like, did she hear mom say it first though?
Right.
It's going to be hard, honestly. I can see that because especially now, I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, my skin. Oh, whatever. You do it about anything. Everybody has something too that bothers them about yourself. Let's just be real, whether it's your hips or your 100%. Nose or your whatever. Everybody's got something. And it is easy every time to just but I think, I think about the scripture about being fearfully and wonderfully made.
That's right.
Little girls just don't hear it enough. Adult women don't hear it enough. People don't hear it enough.
That's right.
So that is preaching the gospel to your kids. Yeah.
You need to tell them, but they need to know that God thinks that of them too.
Amen. Absolutely.
That they know that they're beautiful in God's eyes, and
that
exactly
it even
like
says what's precious in God's eyes is not the jewels and adornment and fine hair. It's a gentle and quiet spirit. It says it's precious to God. Again, it's just so counterculture to what I think they're going to be absorbing on their phone. Yes,
and that doesn't mean they have to be doormats.
No,
by any
for
means.
sure.
That's not what that means. But
kindness,
loving,
compassion.
Absolutely. Yep. I would also recommend keeping lines of communication open, especially. Well, it just starts early, but that is a really big deal as they get a little bit older. And I think that setting the stage for an open communication, I know that what you hear, mom, might not be you might not love what you hear, but be careful how you respond. Do not be reactive.
Yeah.
Try to, just be engaged, be invested, and take it in and work through something that might have upset you maybe a little later in private. But because, if you respond like, oh my gosh, what?
How could you? And
yes, they may not come and talk to you again. Like you have to be very careful. But
there's a way to speak the truth in love, I think.
Yes.
And again, I'm not a parent, so take that with a grain of salt. However, I think just as people, there is a way to do that without judging and without condemning. And,
as a
love
parent,
covers a multitude of sins, and that doesn't mean you excuse them. But I do think that verse talks about the way you approach, like I still love you even though you,
right. Well, there's that word balance again.
Yeah.
You've got to approach it with a balance of love. You've got to be able to say truth, like where they might have gone wrong there, or where that might not have been the best decision. But you just have to be careful, and you have to make sure that, like I said, your face isn't like too reactive to whatever. Just try to take a deep breath.
Women, that's a problem for us.
Oh, 100%. Like
Peyton will tell you that too. He'll be like, you don't have to say it. I know you didn't like it. Just from your face.
I think I'm so much worse about that than what I ever realized.
I have literally been told by people who aren't even close to me, Micah, fix your face. Fix your face.
Terrible. Like,
wow.
Like, I didn't even realize I was doing it.
I know. I get it. It's maybe because we did theater. We're expressive.
Maybe.
Blessing and a curse, right?
We are just extremely emotional creatures.
Probably all the above, if we're being real. I mean, yeah. But I don't know.
I would say too, relationship wise, as they got a little bit older, not to, like, for them not to accept bad behavior. Like, I think that, like, for my girls, I would just never want them to accept being mistreated or not being treated with respect. If you're saying in that and allowing that, then you're telling that person that it's okay to treat you that way, and it's not, and they deserve to be treated better than that. I just, again, if you keep those lines of communication open, you get that opportunity in those relationships during those difficult times to be able to say those things if you're able to communicate. So the communication's a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
It's a really big one.
It's good.
Yeah. Those girls, they grow up too fast.
Yeah.
And parenting, you're going to be parenting them forever.
Clearly.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky.
Yeah, that's what you say now.
It looks different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have my own issues. Like, I want you to need me.
Mom, there's the truth.
I know.
I always will, though.
I need my own discussions. I got to listen to my own podcasts and stuff.
Oh, Lord, guys. I listened to my very first one I've ever done a couple weeks ago. I don't know why I did this. And I was just like, listen to you. Micah, I was like, it's like 24, 25-year-old Micah was going to need you to say it. It was really cool. It was.
That's awesome.
It was almost like, you remember that trend that went around that was like, letter to my younger self or something?
Yes.
I feel like that was like, I listened to it and I was so confident. I mean, I was feeling it. And I was just like, good for you.
Yes,
like,
good for you.
Don't lose. It was cool. It was just interesting to be like, wow.
I mean, as a parent, that's you want your child to be confident.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, that's a muscle that develops, though, with reps.
Yes, it is.
Like,
and we as parents have to pump them up. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to be crazy and be like, oh, yeah, you're going to the NBA.
Right, you've never done anything wrong, and you never will.
Right. Let's be
Get on
real.
Facebook. I'm sure you'll find what I'm talking about.
Right. But, again, with the balance.
Yeah, for sure.
You still got to be an encourager and make sure and tell them that, yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? If this is what you want to do, here's some ways you can do it. Yeah. Give them some steps. Tell them
the best version.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what work's got to be put in to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
That's good. But, and giving them the support that they need during that time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, I would say this about the parenting stuff too, just as a side note. Mm-hmm. Parents, let's keep those love life's in check a little bit. Like, let's not let them be married when they're 14.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. It is kind of crazy.
Oh, you're getting a peek into what my childhood was like.
I mean, I see, they are like, these kids are together constantly.
You're cracking me up.
Or
this is
like
mom's soapbox.
Going
to
to
honest.
all
This
the holiday dinners together. They're 14, guys. Like, they're not getting married. We realize that, right?
I don't know. There are some, I suppose, that will grow up and get married.
I mean,
we
it's
know
true.
them. And you are one.
I am one. But that is very, very much not likely.
I know what you... Well, the dependency trap,
Plus you're-
potentially, when they're young, like... But, I mean,
and
I
you're
wasn't
just
allowed
like
to do that,
helping.
so.
First of all, these relationships go at warp speed already.
Yeah.
And so you're just fostering that. You're just encouraging that. I mean, set some boundaries with these relationships.
Boundaries and balance. There you go.
Absolutely.
I'm
It's always
serious. Y'all
back
got
to
to go
those
back and
words.
listen to that one. That was years ago, but I'm telling you, it's clearly still the heart of the message. Like, but it's
so
a heartbeat
key.
of life. Like,
It is.
And the Bible talks about it all the time. I mean, you can go read the book of Proverbs, especially. You want to talk about honest communication and boundaries. That is
There you go.
all over the place.
Words to
there.
live by,
Yeah,
literally.
literally.
But, these parents, I mean, it's like, why are you so anxious to share your kids? Like, they're only going to be with you for a certain
Sounds like they can never have them.
And I
Peyton
want to
had
keep
to like
mine forever.
drag me out, from mom's clutches to be like, you can't have her.
Oh, no. I'm so glad
man.
Peyton is so wonderful.
Yeah, he is good.
I mean, he's got his work cut out for him.
Oh,
You think? I mean,
little bit.
us and,
they're me, just me, just me.
No, and me.
Well, carbon coffee, I suppose.
Has to deal with the mother-in-law.
That's so funny. I think you're all right.
I hope so. I try to be.
I think you are.
I try to practice what I preach on the balance
That's
and
right.
boundaries.
Yeah.
I try to definitely have the
We're
boundaries.
always growing, always learning.
Always need a little bit more work.
Don't we all, though? It's okay. Well, I'm so glad you got to come on again.
Thank you for
It's so
having
fun,
me.
and I'm glad that my listeners got to get all of your good wisdom. That was good
Yes.
stuff, guys. You need to keep this one in your back pocket when you need it,
you.
whenever you're in the relevant season for it, or just store it up now and take it with you.
I do
But-
love to chat. So
No, we certainly
anytime.
can. I mean, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, shoot, I'm like about to run over. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this whole season of Feature Fall, but especially to this special episode with my mom. I have a brand new series coming up for the month of November that I'm excited to share with you. So definitely follow along on social media and subscribe to the show so that you never miss an episode of the podcast. But
It's so good. This month's been really extra good. I've loved all your.
I have had so many
your
great
guests have been great.
conversations. So thank you to all of you that came on and all of you new people that tuned in and checked it out. I'm happy that you're here. And yeah, definitely it was a good month. It was fun. It was also
enjoyed
very
it.
like impromptu, which was fun. Like I was literally like, hey, I want to do this. You guys want to do it? And everybody was so cool and was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, it was awesome. So if you missed any, definitely go back in these last couple weeks and check them out. But until next time, thanks for tuning in and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.